Okay guys, so I've been doing a bit of styrene building the last couple of days. Had a couple of inquiries about, I don't know, what I'm doing, I suppose. There's lots of videos on YouTube about building with styrene. Anyhow, I thought we'd start with a really simple project, and that would be, I'm going to make a CB radio. So I just went through my scrap bin here, and I got this little piece of styrene. As you can see, it's just a rectangle, basically. So the plan is to do some details on the front there, utilizing whatever I got laying around, pretty much. I'll cut it to size. We'll add a little cable and a microphone. So I have these little strips laying around. I thought I might be able to use for some details, possibly around the edge. I have this guy here, which I punched a bunch of holes in for I don't know what project. I was thinking maybe we can glue that sucker on there, maybe like that. You can get the idea. See, look at that. I got 3 that line up perfectly already. Boom. Or maybe we can shift it over and just do 2. I have one of these hole punches, which is extremely handy. This is difficult to do with one hand. And basically, if I need to make a knob or a button or something, put it in there. You squeeze it, chunk, chunk. Right, give it a little squeeze, doink, and then I'll have a hole in the card, and also inside the tip there will be a circle, kind of like that. That one's larger. Obviously, it was used from the larger punch here, probably. And then you can always, glue that onto the front. You get the idea. In fact, this might be my microphone right there. I can oval it up a little bit. We can take like a pair of pliers. Doing this left-handed too, by the way. I'm right-handed. Give it a little squeeze, and oh, it's not quite enough. Oh, need a camera stand. We'll give it a little squeeze and make it kind of oval. Let's try that again. Give it a little squeeze. There we go. Nice and oval. See that? A little bit of smoothing. Boom. Got a microphone. There's a microphone. There's a CB radio. Alright. I'll take another video when I get a little bit of it assembled. Alright, so I just took a little dab of CA glue and glued this piece on. Next, I will trim off the excess with my alpha knife. Okay, so I've put some pieces on the sides, roughed in a bezel to go over top. I'll refine it with some sandpaper, and then when I'm satisfied, I'll trim it to length here, right here, and add in some more details. Anyhow, while I was digging around through my little bin looking for pieces to glue on the side, I found some chunks of carbon fiber. So now I started thinking, maybe I should build a CB radio out of carbon fiber, because I don't know, because I have the material, I suppose, and I seem to be in the mindset of building a CB radio right now. Alternatively, I could probably carve one out of balsa wood, which I think would actually be lighter than the carbon fiber version. I mean, I don't know. Should I make 3? 1? I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I should save the balsa wood for something else. And the carbon fiber. And I should probably just finish the one that I started instead of starting 2 more. Anyways, we'll see where this takes me. You just never know, especially with me. Alright, so I found this little strip of styrene, and well, it was actually this larger strip, and I just cut it into a thin strip and glued it onto one end of my radio there. Now I'm just going to fold it over for a mount. We'll glue it on the far side. Then I will trim it off after. You get the idea. That'll be the under the dash mount. When I was looking on my tabletop, I found this little tiny polka dot. Oh, focus. There we go. And I was thinking, well, that's the perfect size to go on the side there for the attachment point. So, win-win. Just need to find another one of those to go on the opposite side. Then, I think, then I'll cut it short. Or actually, I might razor blade in some detail. Just a little tiny bit. We'll see. Anyway, update coming soon. Okay, so I have this mounted up and attached. I did do, I don't know if you can tell, there's a couple of little detail lines going across here. There we go, just to add something from the top. I'll probably extend them down the sides a little bit. What I used for that was a little razor saw, but you don't need that. You could carve those in there with just your X-Acto knife or Olfa knife. Alternatively, I do have a selection of different files. Again, you don't really need the files to do that. Styrene is really soft. You could scribe that in there with the tip of a pencil or your fingernail, really, if you wanted to. Anyways, I have this, it's called a pin vise. It holds a whole bunch of little tiny drill bits. I think they're originally designed for cleaning torch tips. So now I'm going to take whatever small size, and it's probably smaller than my wire. I haven't decided what wire I'm going to use yet. And I'm going to drill a hole. I think I'm going to drill it on this side for my microphone cable to come out of. I don't want to do it on the front. Those 2 holes kind of, there's not a lot of room on the front side anymore. I think maybe I should look at pictures for reference, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to build. I think they actually dangle from this side down, and then they're usually like a coiled cable, and then they come across. So I think that's actually what I'll do, is I'll drill it out on this side. I don't think I need to drill any more holes in that. You can always, instead of using a hole punch for these holes up here, you could always just use a drill and drill indentations. If you really want to, you could drill all the way through, install LED lights and stuff like that. I'm going much more basic on this build. And then, I keep saying this, finally, I'll trim this off right here, and we'll have a radio that's ready for paint. Alright. Alright. So, I rummaged through my junk drawer of wires and stuff, harvested from God knows what, old computers and whatever cords and stuff that I decided to keep. And I used black and red to simulate the power wire for the CB. The white one is the antenna cable, and then of course the microphone cable. So you can see I did a couple little details there just to give it slightly bit more realistic. I'll trim the wires back when I decide what vehicle I'm going to install it in. Currently I'm just working on twisting this wire up into, you know, the shape like a real microphone cable. And then I had a little piece that I squished into an oval to make a microphone out of. I seem to have lost that, so I will probably make one out of this. I'll just cut it shorter, round it off a little bit, strip the wire, insert it inside the hole with a little bit of CA glue, and then scratch a little bit of detail in it. Use a tiny bit of wash to give it some wear or color, and call it done. Okay, so I have this little piece of cable here and some small shrink tube. I'm going to slide the shrink tube on there, leave a little extra cable at the end. I'll put a little tiny yellow cap on it, and this will be my CB antenna. I'll leave a little bit extra so I can poke through the body of whatever, and I can use my adhesive of choice to hold it in place. So I'll just heat shrink that on there with a lighter, and then we'll have an antenna, and I'll show you the completed project. Okay, so here's the completed CB antenna. Of course, I'll trim it down to whatever length I need. I'm thinking maybe I'll drill a hole in right here and mount it in there. Ta-da! I can straighten this out a little bit too. The cable kind of holds its shape. I just got to bend it back a little. And then we got the CB radio right here. So, right there. There's the finished product. I mean, it's not super great, but it's going to be underneath the dash, and you're not really going to see all that. I mean, it's more than good enough to gives the impression of a CB radio. That's all it really needs to do. So we're going to install it on this truck somewhere, somehow, and then I think this truck is done, complete for camp and crawl. I'm not going to do anything else to it, I don't think. All right, so that's it. This whole little project, because I have all the parts already, took me, I would say less than an hour. Less than an hour to do all that. Anyways, hope that inspires you to build something on your own. Take care. See you on the rocks.